Okay, so this is Lisa Feather, certified legal nurse consultant. And Lisa had been practicing in nursing for 32 years when something kind of tragic happened, and I want you to tell us about that. But that tragedy led to some really good things. So tell us about it.
So actually, I am a mid-level. I'm a physician assistant, and I worked for 32 years for one single organization. Sacrificed many hours, weekends. Looking back, sacrificed time with my kids, my health. And then we actually had a personal family tragedy, and I came back from leave of absence to find that I no longer had a job. And so from that, I find now that that was probably one of God's blessings. It gave me time to reflect on what was really important in my life. I was already a little bit discouraged with the healthcare system, and I had investigated your institution. And whenever I think I took the course in September of 2013. I kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but I really wasn't doing it seriously. But now, all at once, I had no job, so it gave me the opportunity to get out and really work the business. And the thing that impressed me about your program is that it is a turnkey system curriculum. And what that means to me is that it gives you all the tools to be successful. But I think what a lot of people don't do is they stop there and they think that you take the course and it's all going to happen.
And it's going to happen, yeah.
Right.
No, you have to do something.
You have to do it. And so what I did with those tools is you have to personalize them, and then you take them out and you put them into action, and you find what works for you, and you market intentionally for what you're looking for. And I have exhibited about 10 times.
Congratulations.
I have, first of all, I was just kind of all over the place. I went to workers' comp, I went to trial lawyers, I went to small business, and then it's kind of like, this really isn't where I need to be. And I figured out where I needed to be, and then that's where I'm putting all my energy at.
That's beautiful. So one of the things that's helped you to be successful is finding that focus.
Right.
Yeah, and that's so important, isn't it? Because
it is.
A lot of times, I know I'll mentor people, and they're trying to accomplish too much without focus, and
right.
and as a result, they're not getting anything accomplished.
Right.
So believe it or not, if you just bring it down to a focus, that's when you can be more successful. And you can add pillars. You can
yes.
You can add more, but sometimes you got to start with one thing and
right.
focus there.
And I think that daily looking at your goals and then reevaluating. And I use your book like the Bible.
Thank you.
I mean, I really do. I would journal in it, and I would write down what I expected my goals to be, but then you always got to go back and reevaluate. And I found that helpful in a lot of different issues. Like if I had emailed an attorney and maybe I forgot to document it, and I could always go back to that journal and say, oh, I did call so-and-so on that day. And it gives you a little bit of an accomplishment or a self-accomplishment feeling that, hey, I didn't waste the day, I really did accomplish something today.
Yeah, so I love that because I define success as stepping out for what you want.
Right.
It's not getting the case, it's stepping out to go ask that attorney for
right.
the case. And so you kind of sound to me like you define it that way too. If you're doing something every day, then you're successful.
Right.
And that helps to push you to do something the next day and the
right.
day after.
Right.
Now, one thing that I know about you, Lisa, is you're pretty serious about your work.
Yes.
And I've seen some of your work product, and I think you kick some butt with it. But I also know that you can be a little shy, and you have put yourself out there in front of these attorneys, which I know for many people is a hard thing to do.
Yes.
So what motivates you? What are you saying to yourself when you're putting yourself out there, even though it might not feel the most comfortable?
Well, I came from, I was considered an expert in my field. I did ER for 30 some years. And I've taught, I've spoke nationally, and so all at once I'm going to attorneys' offices and they're saying, they didn't want to talk to me, or, why should I talk to you? What do you have to offer me? And I just made a determination that I do have something to offer you. I've just got to get in the mode and convince you that what I know and what you need to know about me. And one particular exhibit I was at, I actually paid premium spot, and I got stuck in the corner and nobody was coming to my booth. And so I went and I talked to the person that had put on the seminar, and I said, hey, I'm not getting any traffic. And he said, well, we can move you. So we just picked up and I moved to a different spot. I still didn't get any traffic. So I said, can I go in there and hand out cards? And he said, oh no, that's not allowed. He said, but you can stand outside the door.
You can't stand outside there, I love it.
So I stood outside the door, and every person that came through the door, I handed them my card, and I just told them just my short elevator speech, and that I had a booth right outside the door, and I would love to talk to them. And the next break, I had like 25, 30 attorneys come, and the following day, I actually got a phone call from an attorney. And he said, I just wanted to congratulate you. And I said, for what? He said, I have never seen an exhibitor work the crowd as hard as you did.
Congratulations, yeah. So you don't have to be an extrovert or the most outgoing person. You just have to know who you are, what your expertise is, and want to help these attorneys.
Right.
And if you come from that mindset of service, which I know you do, then they get that, don't they?
Yes.
And they appreciate it.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And that particular attorney, I have now done probably 5 cases for him. So since I have gotten serious about the business, I have done about 100 cases, and I have attorneys in 10 different states.
Congratulations.
So,
That's really exciting. And thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Thank you.